J.J. Abrams' Star Trek 2009 movie has a secret Captain Kirk callback from the original series. When J.J. Abrams rebooted Star Trek in 2009, he didn't just relaunch one of science fiction's most beloved franchises. He rewired its DNA. The film reintroduced Kirk, Spock, and the crew of the USS Enterprise for a new generation, creating a fresh timeline while still paying homage to the original. It was a daring act of cinematic resurrection, keeping the essence of Gene Roddenberry's optimistic future alive while injecting it with the kinetic energy of a modern blockbuster. But beneath the lens flares, warp core explosions, and time travel paradoxes, Abrams and his writers hid a surprising number of deep-cut nods to the original series. Some were obvious: the Green Orion Woman, the Kobayashi Maru, or Spock's classic, "Live long and prosper." Yet, one of the film's most meaningful callbacks to the original Captain James T. Kirk is one that slips by unnoticed even to many longtime Trekkies. This secret callback isn't about a line of dialogue or a direct visual recreation. It's a philosophical echo, one that reaches back to a defining moment in the original series and reimagines it for a new Kirk who hasn't yet become the legend. The core of Kirk. The no-win scenario. Before diving into the hidden callback, it's worth recalling what makes Captain Kirk such a singular figure in Star Trek lore. Across decades of episodes and films, Kirk's defining trait has never simply been his bravery or charm. It's his rejection of inevitability. When faced with an impossible situation, Kirk refuses to accept defeat. He redefines the parameters of the problem, often at great personal risk. This ethos is epitomized in the Kobayashi Maru, first mentioned in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan 1982. It's the no-win scenario Starfleet cadets face to test their character when victory is impossible. Kirk famously beat it by reprogramming the simulation. He didn't believe in losing, even in a test. His reasoning? "I don't like to lose." That scene crystallized what it meant to be James T. Kirk. A man who defies fate, rewrites the rules, and bends reality through sheer willpower. Now, jump forward, or rather, back, to J.J. Abrams' 2009 reboot. The movie opens a new timeline, one where Kirk's father dies the moment he's born. His life diverges wildly from that of the original timeline's Kirk. He's reckless, angry, and lost. Yet deep within, the same spirit burns, the refusal to accept that some things can't be changed. That's where Abrams' secret callback hides. Not in Kirk's actions, but in how the movie mirrors one of the original series' most profound moments. The hidden callback. A mirror of the Corbomite maneuver. In the 2009 film's climax, young Captain Kirk takes command of the Enterprise in a desperate attempt to stop Nero, the Romulan miner hellbent on destroying Earth. With Vulcan already annihilated, Kirk faces an enemy whose technology and fury far exceeds Starfleet's capabilities. Every rational mind would consider it a lost cause, but Kirk doesn't. He boards Nero's massive ship, fights his way through overwhelming odds, and risks everything to save his crew. In the process, he embodies a quiet but unmistakable echo of the original series episode, The Corbomite Maneuver. In that 1966 episode, one of the earliest in the franchise, Captain Kirk and the Enterprise encounter a seemingly omnipotent alien vessel commanded by Balak, who threatens to destroy them for trespassing. Trapped, outgunned, and out of options, Kirk bluffs. He invents a fictional substance called Corbomite, claiming that any attack on the Enterprise will rebound and destroy the attacker. It's classic Kirk, using intellect, audacity, and sheer confidence to turn certain defeat into victory. The brilliance isn't in the lie itself. It's in Kirk's ability to believe it, to convince his enemy and his crew that they still have control when all seems lost. Now, consider Abrams' reboot. In its final act, when Kirk faces Nero's colossal mining ship, he essentially performs his own Corbomite maneuver. He boards the Narada with the odds stacked impossibly against him, armed with nothing but his conviction that he can change the outcome. He has no plan that should logically work, but his very defiance becomes the engine of survival. Like the original Kirk, he wins not because he's the strongest, but because he refuses to believe in the concept of no win. Rebirth through reflection. What makes this callback so powerful is that it's not a simple recreation. It's a reinvention. Abrams Kirk doesn't know the Corbomite maneuver. In his universe, it hasn't happened yet. But the spirit of that original moment manifests in his instincts. This is Abrams' meta-commentary on the nature of Star Trek itself. By rebooting the timeline, he's not erasing the past, he's allowing it to echo through new forms. Kirk's bravado, improvisation, and refusal to lose aren't learned behaviors. They're intrinsic to who he is across universes. The callback suggests something profound. Even when the timeline fractures, certain truths about these characters are immutable. In the original series, Kirk's Corbomite bluff represented his genius for creating options out of thin air. In Star Trek 2009, the same instinct drives him to victory against Nero. Both moments turn impending annihilation into triumph through sheer force of personality. It's not coincidence, it's cosmic symmetry. You never really face death. There's another layer to the callback, hidden in the emotional core of the story. When Kirk faces Nero, he's not just saving Earth, he's confronting the ghost of his father's sacrifice. George Kirk's death in the film's prologue sets the tone for his son's life. It's the ultimate no-win scenario. A man giving his life so others can live. James Kirk spends the entire movie subconsciously trying to undo that loss. He drinks, fights, speeds through life recklessly. Because deep down, he's haunted by the one situation no one could beat, death itself. So when he finally defies Nero and saves Earth, he's not just bluffing his way out of a tactical corner. He's spiritually performing his own Corbomite maneuver against fate. He refuses to let his father's sacrifice define him as a victim of loss. He finds a way to turn that pain into purpose. That's the essence of Kirk, both the original and the rebooted one. He looks death in the face and says, "Not today." The callback in dialogue. Interestingly, the film's script even mirrors the rhythm and tone of the Corbomite maneuver without directly referencing it. In the 1966 episode, when Spock suggests their situation is hopeless, Kirk retorts, "Not chess, Mr. Spock, poker." The line encapsulates his belief in intuition over cold logic. He doesn't play by the rules of the game he's given. He changes the game. In Abrams' film, we see the same dynamic. Spock insists they retreat and regroup. Kirk instead presses forward, taking an insane gamble by boarding Nero's ship. He even mocks Spock's logic, saying, "I've got your ship, your crew, your wife's name. Do you really think you can beat me?" It's the same swagger, the same belief that confidence can win wars as effectively as strategy. Through tone, rhythm, and character interplay, the movie channels the classic Kirk-Spock dynamic, logic versus instinct, exactly as the original series did. Abrams' approach, familiar, but not the same. J.J. Abrams' approach to Star Trek was always one of translation, not imitation.